Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, welcome to the comedy extravaganza that is The Adventures of E. Strap yourselves in because in this podcast we dive into hilarious personal stories, mishaps, and everyday life. From the awkward encounters at the grocery store to trying to adult in a world that seems determined to trip us up at every turn. So whether you're listening during your commute or just kicking back with a cup of coffee, get ready to laugh until your sides hurt. Here's your host, Elissa.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between. Thank you for coming back for another episode of The Adventures of E with me, Elissa, and
The producer, Jason.
the everything Jason.
Yeah, I'll take that title.
We have a bone to pick.
What?
The audience and I
What?
have a bone to pick.
Okay.
I feel like the episode titles, as of late, don't take this to heart, have been a little lacking.
Okay.
I feel like we could have jazzed them up a bit.
Okay. Zhuzhed them.
Zhuzhed them a bit.
Okay. So, like, what are your thoughts? What do you think?
I don't know. That's all I had for you.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna complain without a solution?
Yes.
Oh, thanks, honey.
That's how I like to live my life.
I appreciate it so very much.
I can tell.
So I will try and do better as best I can.
Be better, not bitter.
Yeah. You're taking my line. Yeah. Sip your coffee. Sip your
I
coffee.
just winked and it was so awkward.
Yeah. And I'm going to make sure that that's clearly visible in the podcast, in the video. So, all right. I will do my best to work on some more fun titles. I thought the two most recent ones were pretty good.
I mean, Titty Tom or T-Rex Tommy and the Titty Nipples. I can't remember.
Nickels on Nipples with Tommy T-Rex.
That one did make me laugh.
Right. That's a good one.
I have to be honest. I think I told this in the last episode. I don't remember, but I literally laughed hysterically just listening to it again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Tom's a blast. He's hilarious.
He is. He's like a blast in a glass.
Yeah. Except he's like 6'5" and you know, doesn't fit in a glass. So
yeah, he's not a meatball, but you know.
Yeah, he's a meatball.
He's an honorary one.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. So, all right. So I will do better on the titles.
That's fair.
I will work on that.
We all appreciate that.
Everybody appreciates that.
Yeah, I'm of course speaking for everybody.
Okay. So speaking of everybody, we do want to say thank you for everybody that has been, liking and supporting, and all the new guests we've had on. Tom and last week's episode we had Mike and Kate on, and that was their first go around with doing something like that. And I know they were a little nervous, and actually
they were, but they did really good.
Yeah, like I talked to Mike today, and he was like, "Hey, I hope we did okay," and all this other stuff. I was like, "Buddy, you guys did amazing, and the more we do it, the more fun it's gonna be,
and
that's
what I told him. Yeah. It's always scary the first time for everybody. Heck, it was scurry. I was scared the first 5 times.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like after so long though, it just becomes like you're just having a conversation with people who just aren't talking back.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, not that I can hear. How about that?
And I know you were like super nervous about like video and taking that on. And that concerns you a little bit, and so we've had to kind of play with angles and everything, set up differently to make you as comfortable as possible, because I want you to be as natural and comfortable as possible.
Right.
So.
And I'm trying to work on that, like on my own end, I guess I should say, like on myself. That's something that I've had actually a ton of people text or message me who know me in real life. Excuse me. About being honest, like brutally honest, not just about like my weight, but also about parenting and my epic, life fails. And so I just want to tell everybody that was eBay. Sorry, guys. That's my fault.
You're doing a lot of shopping lately,
No, I actually haven't been.
Okay. All right.
But anyway, I just want to say I appreciate that, and I appreciate you letting me know like that you appreciate that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's a huge thing to get that kind of feedback, whether it's in person or whether it's through socials or privately through text message, email, whatever. To have that kind of connection with someone, like that's why we kind of started doing this, is like not only did you want that therapeutic, like get your stories out and get your thoughts out and everything else, but you really kind of wanted to connect and show other people that like they're not alone in some of the things that they go through and some of the
Mhm.
crazy circumstances that they come across. Because we've actually had people reach out to us and go, "Oh yeah, I've experienced something like that before, or I've
Yeah.
been around something like that before." So it's nice for them to know. Obviously,
It
they're not
is
alone.
also, not to make it weird, but I'm gonna make it weird anyway.
Make it super weird.
Okay, well, that was weird. I do not appreciate that at all.
You're welcome.
Anyway, not to make it weird, but it's happening. It's nice. I've heard people be like, it's nice to know that even after so many years of marriage, like you guys still have awkward sex situations. And I'm like, oh, buddy,
Yeah,
do we?
yeah,
But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying, like, I'm real excited that we're relatable.
yeah, yeah. No, that is the best way to put it. Relatable,
Yeah. Like,
relatable.
so I went into Tobacco Kingdom recently, and Ruben,
Ruben,
our guy,
what's up, buddy?
yeah, our buddy at Ruben, he goes, "Oh my God, you guys are so funny." And he's like, was so excited.
Good.
And that made me
That's
happy.
awesome.
And I was like, ooh, that gave me a little bit of a feeling. What is that?
Yeah, it's nice to have that kind of appreciation, and we're connecting on a bigger scale than just like our small little friend circle that we typically have. Like, people that we don't necessarily always talk to. I mean, hell, when Tom was on, we were talking about the story going down to Bloomington, and the friend that we had gone to see down in Bloomington actually messaged on the YouTube channel and left a comment and just
Oh,
kind of joked.
really?
Yeah, so it was hilarious.
Oh, I love that.
So and it's something where I mean, we've been Facebook friends with her for ages, but
Hmm.
I personally haven't seen her since I was probably like 22. So like almost 20 years ago.
Right. Which, speaking of that, actually, we were just kind of talking about, like, kind of in that area. My high school 20-year reunion is this coming weekend.
Mm-hmm.
The weekend that we're, okay, what am I trying to say?
I don't know.
The weekend after we're taping this, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
In the near future.
I have chose not to go. And I was thinking about it actually today, getting groceries out of my car. And I'm like, why is it that I don't want to go? Because it's not that I don't necessarily want to see people or whatever, but I'm just like, why would I want to relive that trauma?
Right.
Like, a lot of those people I don't talk to, and that's okay. I'm friends with some of them on Facebook, and I can see a lot of the popular girls are still all very close,
Oh yeah.
and that's
Very
great.
cliquish. Yeah.
It's still very much, it looks like from the side it is, and
Yeah.
I'm not here for that. Like, I'm
Well, and yeah, like, mine came up not too long ago as well. And the difference is like your school, like how many kids did you have in your graduating class?
I don't know.
Like a couple hundred?
No, I want to say it was like 1,000-ish.
1,000-ish?
Yeah.
Okay. So like the school that I went to, we had north of 3,000 kids. Like we had to actually, they rented out the state fairgrounds.
Maybe it was
Coliseum.
like 400 now that I really think about it.
That's a little bit of a difference.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Just-
don't honestly
Just a
know.
smidgen. But anyways, neither here nor there.
Class of 2004, Martinsville High School. Let me know how many we had because
Right.
I'm not real sure.
Right. But like we just had so many kids, and I didn't really connect with hardly any of them. Like I was close with a couple of people, but I've kind of stayed in contact with them over the years. But for me, it's like, why do I want to go like relive something from 20 years ago with like 2,000 other people that I don't know?
I'm gonna put something out there. I
Okay.
don't know that I've ever really told this story
Okay.
to this like depth as
Okay.
I'm about to.
Should I be nervous?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I want everybody listening to remember this is like 2004 prior 2000s. This is 2000. So this is a long time ago.
So it's the Britney bitch era.
It's before that even, I thought.
Really?
Yeah, because didn't she lose it in like 2002 or 2004?
Fuck, I don't know.
I don't know. It
Yeah.
was before 2004.
I don't keep
okay?
track of that shit.
Actually, it was way before that. Anyway, my middle school year, my 8th grade year,
Mhm.
last year in middle school, sorry everybody, I'm freezing tonight and I'm never cold. We also never have the fan on.
Well, I've tried to make it more comfortable.
I know, and
for
now
you.
I'm cold because I'm used to it being scorchingly, like, hell hot in here. So I was friends with a lot of the girls when I moved to Martinsville in the 5th grade.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them had been friends since elementary school. So here I was already the odd man out, and that was okay. Wasn't that big of a deal. So went on to middle school, and you have to remember, like, I grew up in the middle of nowhere in a very hickish area before moving to Martinsville, which is still a hickish area.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
To an extent, yeah.
But I've never been around kids my own age most of my life. Like, it's always been around adults. I've always been around adults.
Right.
So I'm a weirdo. Like, I'm the weird kid. Like, straight up, weird kid. So in middle school, I became a little less weird, and I started becoming friends with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the most popular girl in elementary school was also the most popular girl in middle school. In our last year, 8th grade year, she decided to tell everybody that I was a lesbian.
Oh, nice.
And this is what I say when I say this. As an 8th grader before 2000, like, that was devastating.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't what it is today.
Yeah.
It wasn't acceptable. It wasn't. And
especially in an area like that, too. It's very, very close-minded, very...
And it wasn't true. I mean, at the end of the day, it really wasn't true.
Right, yeah.
But it was devastating. Like, I was humiliated.
Right.
She, essentially, in my middle school mind, ruined my life.
Yeah.
She ruined it. So I need y'all to tell me if I'm terrible for this. Recently, she popped up on People You May Know.
Mm-hmm.
And a little part of me got a tiny bit of satisfaction that she's a server at a restaurant.
Doesn't have her life together kind of scenario.
And there's zero judgment because I don't have my life together by any stretch of the imagination.
We try.
I try.
We try.
But, like, it just
made
me feel a little bit better. Like, she's just as normal as I am today.
Right, yeah, it's relatable.
Yeah. And I kind of got that, like, you remember those, like, movies on Disney? It was like my Disney after-school movie thought, like, oh, she's just the same as me.
Yeah, she's nothing...
No. Nothing came out of her being popular.
Yeah, nothing came out of, the negativity, or nothing came out of, like, her attitude or how she was towards people at that age.
No, but I learned a life lesson.
What's that?
Don't call people things that they're not.
Yep.
If I learned anything, that's definitely what I learned.
Yep.
I learned not to put labels on people at all.
No.
Because I realized how bad that hurt me. And it wasn't even, like, something to be embarrassed about, although it was back then.
Mm-hmm.
It just, like, hurt me. It hurt my little 13, 14-year-old heart. I don't know how old I was.
Yeah. And that's, like I was saying, that's the difference. Like, my school, I was in central Northside Indianapolis. So, I mean, it was a much more progressive school. Like, kids were, doing whatever they wanted, dressed how they wanted, said what they wanted. I mean, yeah. So it was very... very open. It wasn't something where people were really trying to hide. I mean, obviously there were still, some kids that would try and hide, what their true passions were, or who they truly were. And that makes me sad for them. Like, I never would wish that on anybody.
Right.
You should be allowed to be whoever you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Obviously within reason. I mean, we don't need people walking around as a cat, but that's just a weird one. Yeah, I can't understand that. But anyways, so yeah, like, the school was very different, and the population in the school was very different. So it was something that I was exposed at a much younger age, where that really...
It was totally different for you than it was for me, for sure.
Stuff mattered. Like, somebody could say that, or, say that I was, homosexual or something like that, and it'd be like, okay.
Well, in middle school, for them to say that, it was like I had leprosy.
Mm-hmm.
It was like nobody wanted to talk to me.
Right, yeah.
And that's why I think hurt the most. And that was my first real life lesson glimpse into friendship.
Yeah.
I hate to have that Judy Blume moment, but here we are. Like, it really did. Like, I learned what a real friend was. Like, you're there no matter what.
Right.
And if you're not going to be there at the worst, then I don't need you around, period.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, I got a sidebar, though.
Okay.
You were talking about... Oh, I'm trying to remember now. Oh, man, it was so good.
What was I talking about?
Shit. your high school and it being more progressive and
Mm-hmm.
never mind.
We can come back to it. It's fine. We'll circle back eventually.
I don't know if I'll remember or
It'd
not.
be like 3 episodes from now.
Oh shit! I hope not. 'Cause
Speaking of which, this is now our 27th episode.
we're really that deep?
Yes. Yes.
I think this is the longest I've done anything, minus like my marriage and my child.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like I'm proud of us. I'm proud of, the efforts we've put in, and, we're constantly making improvements. We're making improvements to the studio, to the production quality, to all the different things. And, we're having more people on and having a lot more fun with that. And it's growing, very, very organically.
you know how I look at this? I gotta tell you how, like, my ADHD brain, I can't talk.
Brain.
Like, here's is what I was gonna say.
Here's is.
Okay, let me start over here.
Elissa's word of the episode. Here's is.
Here's is. Okay. You know how, like, in the, like, early 90s, Roseanne was, like, that was the family that everybody could relate to. Like, that was everybody's mom.
Normal. Yeah.
No, that was definitely my mom.
Yeah,
I just want you all to know that is for sure my mom.
Yeah.
And he is for sure my dad, like, to a T. But you know what I mean.
Mhm.
I feel like we're like that as the podcast family. Like, mom is like the universal mother that nobody knew that they needed.
Right, and everybody loves her.
Now everybody's best friend is Lacey.
Yep.
It's like the Truman Show,
I know.
which that leads me into a whole nother situation.
What?
The whole simulation thing.
The simulation thing.
Like, your life as a whole is a simulation.
And see, this is actually, interestingly enough, I have a special conspiracy theory
I know, I saw it.
for this segment, which kind of segues into that. So you continue on.
No, I was going to tell you that. I was thinking about this the other day. When I was a kid, like, this is so fucked up now that I think back. When I was a kid, I'll never forget riding in my dad's truck.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking up out of the sky, and I thought, you know how they would draw cartoons and then they'd flip the pages and it'd make it look like it was moving?
Yeah.
I'm like, what if we're all a drawing? Like, somebody's drawing us with their pen.
Mm-hmm.
Who thinks of that kind of stuff at 7 years old?
I don't know.
Fucked up person, apparently.
I mean, I thought about stuff like that,
What did you think it was?
More along the lines of, a simulation. Maybe not something like what The Matrix is, or, the movies, or
I still
anything
haven't
like that.
finished those.
I know. You need to really watch those.
I can't do it.
Yes, you can. You'll be fine. But something where, obviously as a race, we're placated to, be productive members of whatever, society or whatever it might be, and there's an outside force associated with it that is utilizing us in some kind of capacity. Because we've always talked about, a lot of things like, like the pyramids or ancient technology and all this other stuff. Like, there's just so many different things that are out there that are just so off the wall that at some point in time, you just got to kind of ask yourself, okay, is the normal natural history that we know 100% accurate? I know it's a learning, we continue to learn new history all the time, and new discoveries, but it is the common conception that, this is our timeline. This is, the races. This is, the different cultures and whatnot. Or was there some kind of intervening force at some points in time to help along?
You know what I find interesting, and this is not the same, but it's along those lines, as I watched this thing today, and it was a video on Facebook, and I haven't looked it up, but it's called I can't remember if he called it the Tiffany problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think is what they call it. Basically, this writer came out and she said, the thing about the Tiffany problem is you can't tell people what they know in their mind to be true. It's not true.
Right.
And the way she went about this is the name Tiffany was actually very popular in like the Victorian era.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody thinks, oh, it's so modern. It's a modern name. And it's really not. It was used very commonly like in the 1900s and the late 1800s, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't write a book and use that as the main character name, because when readers go to read that, they're not taken back to where Like, that name doesn't take them back to that time.
They don't mentally visualize that time.
Yes, because to them, that is a modern name when it's not.
Right.
And so I found that so interesting.
So you'd have to use a name like
Bernice.
or Ingrid.
Or Gertrude. I don't know. I'm just thinking of random stuff. And I thought that was so interesting.
I mean, that does make sense. I mean, it's kind of like a collective thought process.
Yeah.
Where everything is just kind of, you have that common knowledge of a lot of different things, and it's so present in front of you that you can't associate it with anything else.
Yeah.
You disassociate or it disassociates with, a memory from back in the 70s, 80s, 90s or whatever. No, it's more of a modern memory because of XYZ, or it's more in front of me on a regular basis as far as a name or a place. Or
I guess what I'm trying to get to at my point was, though, is the things that we think are true may not be, but nobody can tell us that. But now they're starting to tell us that, like the government is.
And you're starting to see little bits of evidence here and there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not just that, it was, hold on, what else was I going to tell you? Oh, man. Man, shoot, man.
Shit, man.
No, I didn't say shit. I said shoot, but that works,
I
too.
know I said shit, man.
Okay. I'm glad you...
French fried taters.
Oh, my God. Here we go.
I'm definitely going to
get way off topic now. Yeah, like a boo.
You're welcome. Speaking of which...
Oh, no.
With a banana peel, the adult Mario Kart is growing.
Oh, God.
I now have Mike invested. Mike was talking to me about, he's like, buddy, I can come over. I can weld. We can fix this up. We can make this happen. I'm like, bet.
I took pictures
of
the windmills.
Yep. So I talked to Jeremiah, and he has started sending me ratchet ass go-karts through Facebook Marketplace that I can buy and build and whatnot. And we may have to actually use some of Jeremiah's garage space for storage once we get one built, move it over there, that kind of thing.
Well, I was watching a TikTok today. Of course, it was about Disney, and the girl goes to the Transformer thing, and it was Megatron, and she was like, "Hey, bestie," and then she goes, "I got you matching ears," and it was the Mario and the Luigi mushroom. And I was like, when I go to Disney World next year, I'm getting me a pair of those.
I thought we were going to Vegas next year.
Well, we are. We're doing both.
Oh.
YOLO.
Okay. All right. So I also got my boss and my coworkers invested.
I know that's what you said.
So we've actually talked about, because we had...
Are we going to have like a Special Olympics section for the TISM people, or what's happening?
So I kind of designed a track. Like, you know how the front of the office building looks, right?
Oh, God.
No.
Sorry.
Hear me out. So we've got a ramp section. We've got a gravel section through water. We have a through grass, thread the needles. And then we have an asphalt section.
So this is now taken from our neighborhood.
Yes.
To a undisclosed location that is safe for people to run amok.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm here for it.
A serious muck, because in our neighborhood, I feel like the old people in here would
Which
call
is
the
like
cops.
all of them.
They'd call the cops.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, so we'd get like...
We're already the white trash in the neighborhood.
We'd get like 1 or 2 laps in, and we're done. We're done. They're going to shut us down. It's already bad enough that we've got little jackass kids running around that are, riding their UTVs and razors and all this other shit at 10 o'clock at night and all these other things in a nice upscale neighborhood, ratchet
it's
ass.
Fine.
But anyways, so yeah, I think it's starting to grow. I think it's starting to... I was originally not necessarily for it, but now I think I can get behind this. Like, I'm getting excited about it.
It's about damn time.
I'm getting excited about it. They've got to be all-terrain
I just
go-karts.
want you to know, though. Listen, though. So it's you and Tom as the evil Mario and Luigi, and then it's me and Lacey as the good ones.
Yeah.
Do you realize, like, challenge accepted?
Yeah.
Well, what I was going to say was, a long time ago, we are circling back, and I'm sorry, not
Circle
sorry.
back.
Tom and Lacey are, like, in... What is that movie with Tom? Oh, no, it's not Tom Hanks. Jim Carrey.
The Mask?
No.
Liar, Liar?
No, the simulation movie.
Oh, The Truman Show.
Yeah. They're like the world's best friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I've
just
been
drop them in anywhere.
Just what I've been trying to get out for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's all right.
My gosh.
Shit happens.
Jeez Louise.
So are you excited? We kind of... diverged a little bit. Are you excited about, the fact that we've come this far as, 27 episodes?
I'm really excited. And I actually want to tell a story. Well, not a story, but I want to tell something that I'm super stoked about that I can actually talk about now more so. Like I've said, I've never stuck with anything this long besides my marriage and my child.
Thankfully.
Yes. That's not how I meant it, but y'all know.
Yeah.
I have ADHD, obviously. I skip new favorite hobbies every week. So to do something this long and still love it and still want to come back every week and, be honest and be raw, like that's a big deal for me.
Right. Yeah.
And that's a big deal for us because this has become like something we do together.
Yeah, it's been good for us to, be able to communicate and bond, and it's something that we can do that's fun together.
Right. And we talk about honest things, and
Mhm.
we are who we are, and that's that. So I'm very excited about that. Also, I did have my final read through about my article.
Yeah.
Not my article, but it's about me, an article about me.
Yeah.
That's being written in the UK Sun. And then it is going to be dispersed in a few other UK magazines. I'm not exactly sure. About my sleep shopping.
Yep. Don't shoot me if I say this wrong. Parasomnias.
Yeah.
Yep.
This wonderful writer named Kate reached out. I thought it was a joke. Jason looked her up, made sure. She freelances for the Washington Post. She went to Cambridge University. She's a smart cookie.
Yeah.
And has the best accent I have ever heard in my life. That woman needs to be reading audiobooks for a living.
Who knows? Maybe she does.
I don't know. But anyway, she wrote this article about me that's going to be published in the UK Sun. And now we finally have a date. And it will be out on, drum roll please. Okay, thanks, Uncle Eddie. September 21st.
September 21st.
Obviously, that'll be on newsstands in England only, but it will be on their website, I've been told.
Oh, so you can go to the UK Sun
Yes,
website.
so it'll definitely be on their website as well.
Very cool.
Kate, the wonderful writer, is going to send me 2 copies of the actual magazine and send them here to the house.
Awesome.
And then apparently, the way I'm understanding it from her is there is another magazine who has heard about my story, and they want to reach out secondarily and write another magazine article possibly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is very awesome.
Good things. All will feature the podcast because that's how this even came about.
Yeah. Because of my hashtagging. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So anyway, that's what's happening, and I'm so excited.
Good, you should be, because
And-
that shit's getting framed.
Yeah, it is.
Like, one of those copies is going to get framed.
And I've been telling everybody about it because I'm just so excited.
You should be. That's super awesome. Like, we started this as just an idea. You had an idea for the past few years and wanted to do something and wanted to kind of talk and get things out. And I was like, you know what? Let's make it happen. And we have invested time. We have invested dollars. I mean,
Lots of dollars.
all kinds of things to get it to where we want it to be, where we feel like the production value is good, where we feel like the content is good, and we're putting out good, real content, something that people can relate to, like you said. But it's interesting that just by doing the things that we wanted to do, other things have come about for you.
Yeah.
Like this magazine article and, potentially looking, another magazine wanting to reach out and talk to you about writing another piece and whatnot. Like that's global scale. Like you don't get that very often.
No, and I completely looked into it. Like it completely just happened.
Yeah.
Nothing I don't think just happens, but like it's not something I was actively seeking out.
Right.
Like, now don't get me wrong, when I did the Inked magazine thing, which, I epically failed.
No, you didn't.
Well, I didn't epically fail, but I failed. I didn't win, which is fine.
You got into, like, the top 10 out of the country.
I know, but, like, that's something I actually, I sought out.
Yeah,
I wanted that opportunity.
You wanted it.
This is not something I was looking for. So I think that makes it a little more exciting because it's not something I ever thought.
It just kind of went, boop.
Yeah, would have been in my grasp to do.
Right.
If that even explains it.
I think it does, yeah, because, and you got to give yourself some credit with Inked magazine. I mean, you legitimately made it into the top 10 in a national contest to be a cover girl.
Which, I mean, that was done from everybody. I mean, were we doing the podcast?
No, this was before the podcast.
Really?
Yeah, this was before the podcast. This was like over the winter, if I remember correctly.
Huh.
Yeah, like you had started talking about some different things, and you were a little bit more active on social media, like you were getting into TikTok and
Yeah.
posting video, doing some different things like that. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was something that you actively wanted to participate in with Inked Magazine.
Yeah, I mean, I sought it out. I wanted to do it because you don't see, I mean, let's be honest, you don't see chunky girls on Inked Magazine very often. And you still won't because I'm not going to be on it.
No, I mean, you can be on any magazine for me. Like, that's all I need.
Oh, thank you, honey. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Anyways, that's a poor attempt at a English accent.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's okay.
Yeah.
We'll let it go.
Yeah. So I do want to circle back to what you were talking about with the whole simulation thing and segue into that kind of conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
So I read somewhere that people with ADHD, they may possibly be phasing in and out of other dimensions when their level of attention shifts or focus shifts or things like that. And that's why things bounce around so much. And I thought that was very interesting.
Jesus, I've been everywhere.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, because your brain goes over here and then compartmentalizes for a little bit, focuses, and then boop over there, and then up here, and then down there. So it's very, like, I could see where that concept would come from.
But you see it when you come home. Like, when I've had a full day off, I know you can see it. Like, you're like, okay, it started here.
Yep.
And then she went there.
Yep.
And then she did this.
Yep.
And then she jumped over here. And then she went to vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can map it out, my whole route, because you can see what's done and what's not done.
Right, yeah.
And then what caught my attention.
Yep.
And then you're like, oh, but not everybody's like you.
No.
And not every significant other can be understanding like you.
Well, and I'll be honest, like, it took time.
Lots of time.
And energy and effort to learn these things. I mean, early on when we were together, there were frustrations and like, points in time where I was like, because I was super, super strict about like, wanting to stick to a calendar or wanting to stick to a time frame.
Let's be honest.
And,
There was one time you called me lazy, okay?
Oh God, here we go.
Listen, this is for learning purposes only here. You did call me lazy because I
Fair
was
enough.
sleepy.
Fair enough.
But now looking back, I know you understand. That's
Yes.
not what it was. My focus is just very much different. But do you know how many women get pegged as lazy who probably have ADHD?
Yeah, and it's something that, like, very quickly after, because that actually, interestingly enough, that spurred a very big discussion and conversation. A little bit heated at points in time and a little frustrating at points in time for both of us, but it also spurred that conversation to allow me to better understand. So
Right.
I could look back and go, okay, yeah, I fucked up. I shouldn't have said that. Like, my perception of it is not what it really is,
Right. And it's taken a lot on me to be like, okay, reflection, be like, okay, we can't hold on to that. We, as in me, myself, and I,
Right.
can't hold on to that shit because it's not doing me any good. Now, me bringing up here is because, strictly out of learning purposes,
Yeah.
because I had a patient not long ago who told me she asked the doctor a question, and she was newly diagnosed with ADHD. And I said, I am not a doctor. However, you should talk to your doctor about X, Y, and Z. And she kind of looked at me and I said, I am, diagnosed in my later age with ADHD, da, 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 da. And she goes, well, my problem is, like, my husband just doesn't get it. And I was like, oh, honey, I've been there.
Yeah.
It takes time, though. Like,
Yeah.
it takes a lot of time and a lot of energy on both parties' end to try to understand and meet in the middle.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, even to this day, I mean, we're creeping up on our 9-year anniversary, almost 10 years together. I mean, we still have moments where we don't necessarily fully connect or understand one another.
Well,
And
hell, we had one of those 2 nights ago.
yeah, it was very, like, I understood you were tired. I understood these things, but I was also hopeful
Mm-hmm.
that I would have seen a different kind of reaction
Right.
that second night or whatever, because you
Right.
had the opportunity to rest and recover from the night shifts and those types of things. And I came home and I didn't necessarily see it. And obviously internally I was a little frustrated
Mhm.
because I wanted to be able to spend time with you and us to, hang out and talk and, because we were still trying to plan our vacation. I mean, hell,
Yeah.
last minute. Which we never
3 weeks to the day, but it's fine.
which we never really do. Like, I'm super plan ahead guy, but
But I got this new job. My schedule's been kind
Right.
of thrown off, et cetera, et cetera.
yeah, we're super busy all the time. But yeah, like I came home and I was just a little internally frustrated. Not necessarily frustrated at you,
But with the situation.
and it instead of us arguing, obviously it was I needed to kind of go to my corner and take a minute to kind of process what was going on and calm myself and how
Mhm.
I was feeling so that way we could communicate and talk through it, because I didn't want how I was feeling to come across, be portrayed in a negative way, because it wasn't necessarily meant that way. It was just a perception thing.
Right. And I think most disagreements and arguments are all about perception.
Mhm.
But I was to go back to the whole time dimension thing. There's no way that's where my mind is going.
Where do you think it's going then?
Hell, I don't know. But it ain't nowhere like that.
It's not jumping to like different alternate
I don't
dimensions, like the
think
Marvel
so.
universe or anything like that.
I kind of wish it was that exciting, but it's definitely not.
Really?
No, I kind of wish more for my life.
All right.
I
fair
kind of
enough.
wish it had been a little more exciting than it has.
Yeah. So speaking of exciting, are you excited for our anniversary vacation that we're going on this year, since we're going someplace completely new? I mean, we're still going to kind of our home state, Tennessee.
Yeah, don't say
That's
it's
Old
completely
Faithful.
new.
No. But we're staying in a completely new place. I mean, it's super nice. Like, it's going to be completely different.
Yes, but I have to tell you, and
What?
I haven't told you because it just hit me. I had a dream about the place that we're staying.
Oh Lord.
I had a dream that they called and canceled because it slid off the side of the hill. I'm not joking.
Oh my God.
I just had that dream last night. You heard it here, folks.
Well, good thing we bought the travel insurance.
Which I pushed for.
Yeah, that's the best
Thank
$100 I've
God-
ever spent.
Thank
Yeah.
God I was like, yeah, we're paying that.
Yeah, that's good coverage. It's probably worth it. So, so now we can move on to a segment. We've already gone over the one kind of conspiracy theory segment, but I do want to continue on with our "Am I the Asshole" segment. So this one is kind of near and dear for both of us, right?
You get to read it. I'm not reading it.
Okay. And I'm not even going to go into super lengthy detail here
No,
there's
because I'm going to light this up.
Yeah, it's just going to light up real quick. So watch her face, folks.
No,
like, watch
no.
close on the camera.
No, don't do that.
Here it comes.
Stop it.
Am I the asshole for not minding my own business when I saw a dog in a hot car?
Automatically, no.
Same.
Here's why I know.
Lay it out there.
So listen, look at Linda. This is it's not embarrassing, but like only me. So, long time ago, back in the day, Jason and I lived literally in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
And my most exciting days were the days I got to go to Noblesville.
Yep.
And I got to go to my favorite. It was the trifecta. Home Goods, TJ Maxx, and Chick-fil-A. Okay? And now what I would do was I would go and get my Chick-fil-A in the drive-thru, and I would sit in my car and enjoy that Chick-fil-A, and then I would go shopping.
Get you some Lord's chicken.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there trying to mind my own business and eat my Lord's chicken when it is a very hot summer day.
Enjoying the AC comfortably
Yes.
in your vehicle.
Yeah, I'm setting in my air conditioning, of course, polluting the ozone. But anyway, a lady gets out and leaves her dog in her car
Mm-hmm.
with the windows cracked, not down, not even half down, but cracked. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay,
Now, was the car running?
no.
Okay,
was
now,
off.
perception-wise, if the car was locked, running, cold AC,
I wouldn't have done
very
anything.
different- very
I
different
would not
story.
do anything.
very different story. People
it-
that do that for the dogs, I'm okay with.
But it was not running.
Yep.
And she goes in and I'm like, okay. Elissa, mind your own business. Mind your own business. Mind your own business. I can't. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to give her 5 minutes. Maybe she just needed to run in for something really quickly and come right back out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm all set here. And this is a big dog. Like, this is a big, fluffy, hairy dog.
Yeah. So 5 minutes is even pushing it in that kind of heat. Yeah.
She's not coming out. And I'm starting to panic.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get the nervous shits.
Yeah.
I get out. I take a picture of her license plate because I didn't have a pin. And I called the cops.
Yeah.
And I explained what was going on. And I said, like, this is where I'm at. This, like, the sun's blaring in this car.
Yeah.
It's now been at least 15 minutes.
Which, surprisingly, the dog's even doing okay at this point in time.
Well, it's got its nose pressed up against the crack.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, there's nothing I can do. I didn't feel like at the time there was anything I could do. So I couldn't watch it anymore. I called the cops. They were on their way. They were going to handle it. There was no more I could do. It was literally breaking my heart. So I decided I'm just going to drive away. Like, fuck this. Fuck my day.
Right.
Fuck my Chick-fil-A.
Well, just so you're aware, in the state of Indiana, if an animal is in distress,
now you can break the window.
You can break that motherfucker.
But I don't think back in the day, like, this is like 5 years ago. I don't know if you could then. 5 or
yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
This is when I had the Cherokee. Like, that's how long ago that was.
Yeah, about 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I go to drive away because, like, I can't sit there and watch this anymore.
Right. Yeah.
And next thing I know, here comes all the fire trucks blaring. And they busted out her windows. And they got that dog out. And I was living for that moment.
Good.
And I was like, I will never say sorry for doing that, ever.
Nope.
I've also called the cops for people who've had their dog on a chain in the middle of, I don't know, negative 10-degree weather.
Yeah. I mean, it's animal cruelty.
I won't stand for it.
Yeah.
Kids and animals, I will not stand by and let it happen.
Like, I'll be real honest here, folks. I like animals a hell of a lot more than I like about 95% of people.
Same.
Like, there's a 5%.
Hell, I almost had you talking to a ferret the other day.
Almost. But we would have had to buy it at pairs. Because it was buy one, get one 50% off.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, so I'm all about the deal. And they like to be in pairs.
Yeah, they do better in pairs.
Yep.
And his little housemate, she was just snoozing right along.
Yep, just chilling.
Yeah.
Just chilling. But no, we're not going to do that because Lila would eat it.
She would.
Like, I had to wrestle a baby bunny out of her fucking mouth the other day.
She's terrible.
Yeah. She's just trying to protect the owner.
She's Doug from Up, and she literally responds to Doug.
Oh, she does. She hates it.
And Turd.
Yeah, she hates it.
She responds to both, though. That's on her.
I call her Goober or Doofus half the time.
And I call her Doug and Turd, and she comes to both. She's like...
Yep. But she listens when you use her real name.
Yes.
When you use her real name, she's like, oh, shit, I better act right.
She don't ever listen. But anyway, so that's my situation with the dog. And again, I would never say I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't either. And trust me, if I ever see it,
if you lock your dog in your car and I'm in the vicinity, I'm going to bust your window out now.
Well, honestly, if they're in the vicinity, not only am I going to bust their window out, but I'm going to bust their head in.
Hey, no violence.
Well, I mean, if you're busting windows, you might as well.
No, none of that.
No to the animal cruelty. We're not having that shit.
Yeah, none of that.
So, well, I feel like this was a really good episode. We went over some really good stuff. We're really excited for where everything's going. And I know the past couple of episodes have been really fun.
This episode was much. Oh, I can't even talk. This episode was much like my brain, just scattered and all over the place.
But it was a good one.
It is what it is.
It was fun. Yeah.
It is what it is, and it ain't great.
It's always great with you, honey.
Oh.
So, but, thank you, everybody, for listening, for watching, especially on YouTube. That's really started to grow. We've started to grow followers and whatnot on YouTube. That's been pretty cool.
Yeah.
Getting some good comments. And it's crazy to see the kind of feedback that we get on the different social media channels and whatnot.
And people who know people who know people who are listening, like...
Yeah, it's expanding.
I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah. So real quick, again, when is the release of the magazine article? September
21st.
September 21st. So
no, it's the 22nd. So is that
that's a Saturday. Or no. The 22nd is a Sunday.
So it's that Sunday.
It's the Sunday episode.
Yeah.
Or the Sunday release of the UK Sun.
Yes, and it'll be on the website, she said.
Yep, because our anniversary is on that Monday.
And I know that's how I kept track of what day it was, but it's definitely Sunday.
Yep, so Sunday, the 22nd of September, it'll be available on the UK Sun's website as well as on newsstands everywhere in the UK.
Yeah, not here. Not here.
Not here.
But the podcast is mentioned.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's, I mean, that means international recognition and fame. Oh, look out.
Oh, fame. More spam.
Right. That's how we know we're going to make it. More spam.
I'm a ham for spam.
So, but yeah.
Oh, I said it.
Yeah. It's okay. Hey, real quick, what does spam stand for?
I don't know. Sizzle, pork, and
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yep. Sizzle, pork, and
I thought he was looking for actual ingredients, and I was like,
No, I remember watching somewhere a video a long time ago where they asked like a bunch of people on the street, what does it stand for? And some of the answers were ridiculous.
Oh, I have no doubt.
If any of our listeners or watchers have 20 minutes to waste, you should probably look up those videos. It's hilarious. So.
Okay. All right.
But
we
anyways,
gotta go.
Yep. So we are gonna go, and we'll see you and talk to you next episode.
All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.
We out.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. Make sure to share and like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/The Adventures of E, and on YouTube at www.youtube.com/@Adventures of E. See you next time.